Hello vinyl community, Jonas here to do a recent vinyl finds. This is the 5th time I'm doing this, so first of all, thank you so much, Anders, for letting me stay at your place when I was in Stockholm. I went to Anders Thursday evening and I went home Saturday afternoon. So 2 whole days I stayed with him and his girlfriend at his apartment. Thank you so much, we had a blast. Friday we went record digging in Stockholm, one of Europe's absolute best cities for vinyl, in my opinion. And I've been to Berlin, Paris and London and stuff like that, but nothing compares to Stockholm, not even London, in my opinion. And Saturday we went to Scandinavia's biggest record show, or fair, or whatever you want to call it. And it's the same show I visited when I visited Anders last year. First time we met in real person, real life, real time, I don't know. We had a blast, stayed up late, drank a lot of beer, wine, listened to music from his collection, talked about music, and yeah, I tried to listen and to learn as much as I could about what Anders had to say about jazz. And I think I know a little bit more now than I did before I went to Stockholm. I think so anyway. So thank you so much, Anders. The other person I want to thank is Andy, onebigholiday. We made a trade. I did a trade video a couple of weeks ago and he was one of the first jumping on that. We talked, he wanted some stuff, I got some stuff from him. I've listened to 2 things and I want to show those 2 first. So this is Coltrane Plays the Blues. This is the Rhino reissue and they really made a great job on this. So to the vinyl first. Comes in this awesome inner sleeve and that's the label, so they tried to match it with the original, I think. Okay, thick cardboard box, yeah, really heavy, 180 gram. Awesome. And now the music, 1962, John Coltrane. I like this. I really like this. We talked a lot about Coltrane when I was with Andersinstockholm, and yeah, I really dig this. 1962. This is, I did research, and this is like the outtakes from My Favorite Thing, so something like that. You know, perfect to have in the background if you want, but rewarding if you listen to it. And the pressing sounds perfect. It blew me away. Amazing. Highly recommended. And the second one that I traded with Andy is this. This is What's Going On with Marvin Gaye, one that I wanted in my collection. I'm not a huge Marvin Gaye fan, and I'm not a huge fan of this album, really. It's growing on me, but it's still not a masterpiece in my opinion. I like this for what it did. It's important, I know that. It's well made, I know that too, but it's not moving me right now. Tumblr Motown reissue from 2000, something like that, on colored vinyl, and it sounds okay. I bet the original, you know, sounds better than this, but for me this is more than enough, you know. So thank you so much, Andy. I have one more that I haven't listened to yet, so I'll save that to the next vinyl finds. Next one I was super glad to find. This is the last one I needed for my John McLaughlin collection, and it's actually the first extrapolation, I think you pronounce it like that, with John McLaughlin, released 1972, and this is the first US press, if I've done my research right. It was recorded like 1969 or 70, something like that, but wasn't released until 72 when he had his breakthrough, or whatever you want to call it, with the Mahavishnu Orchestra. Then they thought it was okay to release this. John Sherman, Tony Oxley and Brian Hodges, something like that. I love this. One of my favorite John McLaughlin records. Get this. $8 I paid for this. And side note, if you watch the 3rd track, Argent's Bag, I think they did a different take on the 3rd John McLaughlin solo record with Joe Farrell or something like that, and they called the track something else. Highly recommended. Okay, the next one is probably one of the better ones I got on the trip, for me anyways. because I've wanted this for so long, and I showed this in the video we did together. Check that out, it was so fun doing. So check Andersinstockholm's channel out. This is Felicity with Ginger Baker Live, classic record. And this is actually the first US press of this on Signpost Records. So glad I got this. 25 bucks I think I paid for it. Super happy. The record is in mint or like VG++++ or something like that. Plays perfectly. And this record is a must-have. A 10. This is a 10. Especially the second side was just like I couldn't stand still. So funky and jazzy, and he's hitting the drums so hard. Really cool. Just top of his game drum-wise, Ginger Baker. And I think this is from early 70s, but I'm not super sure. I don't know if this is like the year 1970. I don't know. Get it! Okay, so the next one I won't talk so much about because I still need to listen to this again. I didn't sit down and concentrate. This was recommended to me by Anders and the store owner actually. They both said that you know, this is a really good record. And I didn't even listen to it in the store, even if Anders said that I should. I did a blind buy of this, and I really enjoyed it. It's demanding, but yeah, I need to listen to it more. Paul Bley, John Gilmore, Paul Motion, and Gary Peacock, Turning Point. This is from 1975 on Improvising Artists. Looks like that. And yeah, but I think it was recorded in 64 and 78, but I'm not super sure. It says something here. I haven't done the research. I'm gonna sit down and listen to this and concentrate. So this isn't getting filed yet. But it was super cool the first listen. So thank you so much for the recommendation, Anders. 20 bucks, but I got some discounts. I don't know, less than 20 bucks for this. So it's like, you know, if you take Coltrane, the Coltrane plays the blues record, it's easy to listen to that and understand that, you know, you get it right away. The free jazz stuff is harder for me to get. I have to really concentrate. But when you do, it's more rewarding than the ordinary jazz. So I'm slowly getting into it. Okay, one more, then my Swedish stuff. Okay. I got Benny Maupin's Jewel and the Lotus by Chris Basket. I already had it. I had a friend in mind who I thought wanted it, and he really did. He's a huge Electric Miles fan. So, and Vicious Brew being his absolute favorite record of all time. I contacted him, asked him if he wanted it, and wanted to trade for it, and the only thing I could find in his collection is this. So of course he did a better trade than me, but this is one that if I want to have this press, this is the second press of this in Sweden, I have to pay like 20-25 bucks for this. And I guess you US persons can find this in dollar bins or something like that. We can't here in Sweden. I can't. So I needed this, so I thought it was a good trade. Michael Bloomfield, Harvey Brooks, Buddy Miles on drums, Richie Havens on sitar, Paul Beaver. And there's the guys. Don't mess with those guys. Blues rock, funky at times, funky blues rock. It's not a 10, but it's really good. Recommended, you know, if you can find this for $1 or $2 or $3 or $4, you know, get it. Don't pay 20 bucks for it. I wouldn't. Okay, so my Swedish stuff, you know, if you don't like me showing Swedish jazz and Swedish prog, you can turn this off now. And I'm gonna do some needle drops of the things I think you need to listen to understand if you don't know about it, you know. So, but first of all, no needle drop on this one. I got this for 8 bucks, 7 bucks, something like that. This is pretty easy to find in Sweden. This is Pug Rogefeldt or Pug Rogefeldt with Hollywood. And this is the third release from 1972, I think. Yeah, 71, okay. So he made Jag Ade, the first one, and then he made, in the same year I think, in 1969, something like that, he made Puggish with Janne Karlsson, who played with Hansson and Karlsson and Bo Hansson, you know, and with Jojo Wadenius from Main Sweden. And this record was his third and closing the trilogy I read somewhere. So this is in the same vein, but it's more musicians on this, so it's a little bit bigger, but a little more talkier, and comes with a sheet with lyrics and photos. But look at this. If you know Swedish music, you know, at this time period, look at this lineup. You know, this is the guys he was working with. So you have Pelle Danielsson, the jazz bass player, Ola Brunket, the drummer, really good drummer, Kenny Håkansson from Kebnekaise on electric guitar, Göran Lagerberg on bass from Göran Lagerberg from Tages. Played on a lot of stuff. I've talked about Göran Lagerberg a bunch of times. And Pug, of course, Ben Staff, that I've talked about as well, the singer-songwriter. And Lasse Welander on electric guitar. Lasse Welander, he's just an amazing Swedish guitarist that not so many know about. You know, check Lasse Welander out if you like guitar playing. He's amazing. This is a little more talkier, not as jazzy and proggy as his first two, and really easy to find in Sweden. Okay, the next one, it has been shown. I know it's been shown by Chris Basket, and I think that Anders said that Coltrane 68 may have this, but I don't think either of you have this pressing of this. This is Hex Milk with Eskimo Heat, or Bitch Milk, as I think it says on yours. So this is a fusion, jazz rock record, a little more modern sounding, but from 1974. This is a killer record. Really good and awesome playing. The only one I knew from this was Malando, this guy here, the black guy with the sunglasses, Malando Gasama on drums and percussion. He's played with a bunch of guys, Jan Schaffer and, you know, stuff like that. Killer musician. And I'll do a needle drop on this so you know how it sounds. Okay, next one. This was the last one I needed with this group. The third release. I have 1, 2, and 4th, and it's good. It's better than the 4th. It's not as good as the second, and the first is a classic in Swedish prog and Swedish, you know, jazz rock. You know it. I've talked about it before. Solar Plexus with Det är inte båten som gungar, det är havet som rör sig, or translated to "It's not the boat that's rocking, it's the ocean that moves," something like that. That song, the first song on the first side, self-titled or titled, is really good. The rest is okay. The second side was also okay. 17 minutes long song. The Earth is a Wonderful Place. That was also really good. But this is without Jojje Wadenius, but you have Tommy Slim Borjud on drums. I don't know, I think it's that guy here. Really good drummer. He became a race car driver after this, or sometime this time period. And you have Tommy Sherberg here, really good Swedish singer back in the day. Nowadays I don't care for him at all, but yeah. 1974, the third Solar Plexus, really good. Okay, so this is one that I've been looking for a while, and of two reasons. The soundtrack to this movie is fantastic, and that's what's here. And the movie is one of the best Swedish movies ever produced. And this guy is my favorite director of Swedish cinema, and he's made the best movie of all time, ever. It doesn't matter time or country, anything. 2000 he released a film called Songs from the Second Floor, and the guy I'm talking about is Roy Andersson. The first record he did just when he went through the film school in 1970 is this movie. And this is I don't know if it's a rarity in Swedish, you know, prog, but it's in the prog book. And this is called En kärlekshistoria, or a love story. A love story. The music from the film A Love Story. This is a soundtrack composed by Björn Isfält, with a lot of like moody songs, written also by Roy Andersson, who directed this. But on some tracks, it's credited to a singer called Staffan Stenström. And the thing that the cover doesn't say is that half of the tracks on here is Atlantic Ocean playing on them. And Atlantic Ocean is this prog group from Sweden that is really, really hard to get, you know, their album. I'm still looking for that. But they're on half the tracks on here. And this girl, see her here, Anita Lindblom, is playing one of the characters in the movie. But she also sings on some of the tracks. And those tracks, along with some others, are just so-so. But some tracks is killer. And I'm gonna play you, I'm gonna needle drop this just to give you a clue. This is awesome. It's so damn good. And look at the cover. You know, you have two kids in their, you know, early teens falling in love. This is on a football field. And this is an image from the movie where he's embracing her with a cigarette in his hand. And she's, you know, with this daring short skirt and the moped just lying there putting gases out. You know, he's just throwing it there to embrace her. It's just such a wonderful picture to a wonderful film. If you can find and watch the film, do it. And the soundtrack is amazing. So here's the needle drop now.
How I'm longing for you, love you so. When I wake up in the morning, I'm only thinking of you. How I'm waiting,
how I'm longing for you, love you so. When I wake up in the morning, I'm only thinking of you. How I'm waiting for this evening when I will let you know.
So I hope you enjoyed that. You know, it's not prog and jazz in that, you know, sense, but it's still in the prog book, and it's from the time period and from that movement, if you want to call it that. So that's why I wanted you to listen to this. So hope you liked that. And now to the last one, and this is one that I've also been wanting for a while. It has one of the most daring covers of all time, in my opinion. So I'm gonna show it now. This is their second release. I'm gonna let this sink in for a little while. Okay, so this is Feta Heta Linjen, or the Bees Hotline. So the Heta Linjen is hotline in Swedish, like you can call and talk dirty with girls for money. And this is so Fat Hotline. Med Kisa, Brass och Brudar, with Kisa Magnusson, the girl, with brass is like, I think it's brass trumpets and stuff like that. But brass may also be marijuana, I don't know. And Brudar is babes. This is a party record from 1971, initiated by Jan-Loffe Karlsson. And Janne Karlsson was on with Hansson and Karlsson, you know, the drummer that played with Hendrix and a lot of guys, but with Bo Hansson that made Lord of the Rings. And this is from 1971, so you have to think about that. 1971, this is like only 2 or 3 years after he made A Monument by Hansson and Karlsson. And at the same time that Bo Hansson did Lord of the Rings. It's that time period and that sort of playing. Now, it says here that this is Sweden's Swedish supergroup Feta Heta Linjen. And that is what it is. You have Jan-Loffe Karlsson, Bert Egenblad, Ulf Andersson, Göran Lagerberg from Tages and Håkan Sterner on song. And they do a bunch of stuff. Half of the songs of this is talky and just comedy and nothing to really brag about. But some of the stuff here is just funky and fusiony, and it's just insane and so cool playing. This so cool playing that it just blows my mind. The first record of this, only called Heta Linjen or something like that, I'm not super sure, something else, it's also really good, but this is more jazzy. The other one is more rock oriented, and you know, just for the cover. I paid $20 for this, and that's what it's worth. So yeah, but you don't find this in thrift stores and stuff like that. It's a prog gem, and here's a little sample of that. So I hope you liked that, found something that you liked. This is just the kind of music I'm listening to right now, like some of the stuff that I really wanted for a while, and some new stuff that I really find interesting, some stuff that I wanted to have to complete, and some prog classics just to, you know, that I really wanted in my collection. And this is only half of the stuff I got from Stockholm, and I got a package in the mail today with 4 records, and I have some stuff coming in, so I guess in a week I'll do another one showing the other stuff. Please leave me comments about the records and what you think of them, and the needle drops and stuff like that. I really appreciate it, to hear what you guys think. And again, thank you so much, Anders, for you know, yeah, made my year. Until next year. Have a great day. Bye.